Welcome to Switzerland. Here are the top 10 customs you should know when you travel to Switzerland. And I started to film this video, and then I've got a guest appearance by Mauzi, who's just doing his morning cleaning. And together we're going to explain to you everything you need to know when you come here. Have fun, enjoy the video. What have I written here? Eine Pizza. My name is Greg, I am Swiss, and I know a little bit about Swiss customs here and there. I've lived in certain regions of Switzerland as well, not only the German one, and I know a little bit how things work. First up, when you come to Switzerland, you want to say hello to someone, okay? You want to greet someone, and this actually poses quite a big obstacle for travelers already, because there are 4 languages in Switzerland, and we have a formal way to speak and an informal way to speak, okay? And then we have this social context, whereas sometimes we're going informal very fast, and sometimes we're not going informal very fast, and sometimes we should go informal faster, and it gets a little bit awkward. Then we also have the way that we kiss each other, okay? In Switzerland, we kiss each other 3 times to say hello. And this is a bit special. In France, it's 2 times, and in Switzerland it's 3 times, but you don't go up to someone you meet for the first time and say, hey, my name is Greg, okay? You wait a little bit. It's there, the social context, sort of you will start to realize and you start to understand when it's appropriate to do that. So if you want to, though, learn a few words on how to greet the people in Switzerland, I'm going to give some few examples for you here. Okay, in Swiss German, we say hoi, it's an informal way, or grüezi, is more of a formal way, okay? When you go to the French part, the informal way is salut, and the more formal way is bonjour, okay? So when you go to the Italian part, you can actually just simply go ciao, okay? This works well when you come there and when you leave as well already. And if you happen to be in Graubünden, it's a very beautiful canton in Switzerland. There are small parts, usually small villages, where they speak Romansh, okay? And there you can say allegra, which works perfectly fine. Also, you need to know that the different cultures we have, they sort of reflect themselves in the way how fast you go informal, okay? You've got the Latin-speaking languages, okay? We see French, Italian, and Romansh. They're Latin-based. It's more, a little bit warm, okay? A little bit more friendly, a little bit more open, okay, so to speak. And then you've got the German-speaking part, which are somewhat, related to our German neighbors, which are a bit more like this, okay, and a bit more rigid and a bit more, it takes a little time. But this is also a thing. A lot of people say a lot of Swiss people are very tense and it takes a long time to warm up. It doesn't necessarily have to be, okay? But one thing, when you make a Swiss as a friend, it will be your friend for life. So then next up, you hear the Swiss. They always have their watch on, okay, they're always on time, they're always punctual like this ship. I don't know the time exactly, but I know it's before the time it's supposed to arrive, and it will leave at the time it's supposed to leave. So this is one thing when you travel to Switzerland. You have public transportation, you have trains, you have buses, you have ships like this one. It goes at 10:15, it goes at 10:15. There are exceptions though, it's actually quite important that I mention this. You might be on a train to, let's say, Zermatt, okay? And this train from Bern to Zermatt is late, okay? It happens, because even the Swiss aren't perfect all the time. Because the train from Visp you're going to take to Zermatt is basically only going there with all the people from Bern, so it would be pointless for it to go without anyone. So in this case, when you are in these regional trains or switching to a regional train, a lot of the times, train conductor calls up the other train and says, hey, wait, we're going to come a little bit later, and they wait up, so no problem there. But if you book a tour, try to be on time because they leave. If there's a train, they're going to leave. The shop, if it closes at 7 o'clock and you come at 7:01, it's going to be closed, okay? So that's that. Also in social settings, when you, for example, want to meet someone from Switzerland, normally we have the saying that you should be a little bit earlier, okay, than the actual time that the meeting sort of happens. But since you're a traveler, it's sort of like not really applying to you. But as I said, when you go on a tour, yes. So talking about public transportation, here are a few things you actually need to know. And if there is one point in this whole video I'm sort of like that's really going to apply to you, it's probably that, because eventually you're going to use some of it. In many countries, public transportation is sort of a sign that you're poor and is badly maintained and everything. not in Switzerland, okay? It's expensive, it runs on time, as we've just seen, and a lot of people actually use it as well. So here's a little bit of codex we have when we use public transportation. So because it's so important, I've actually made a short list where I explain a few things in for you about it, okay? So the first one, normally the Swiss culture is a little bit different than other cultures, okay? Swiss culture is a bit more reserved, people are a bit more quiet, a bit more calm, okay? And this happens also to be in public transportation. So when you take the train, a lot of culture, they scream on top of their lungs, okay? And this is some little bit frowned upon among the Swiss. But then again, the other thing is eating in public transportation, okay? It's not forbidden, you can do it, but here also the codex sort of goes, nothing that spills, nothing that has like 1,000 crumbs like a croissant, or smells really intensely, okay? This is the sort of the things that you should avoid when you do that, okay? Also, when you come from the airport with a lot of luggage, it happens, okay? People, they come here and they're very afraid that it's going to be stolen, and they're going to take the luggage, put it on the seat next to them. Actually, there are a lot of compartments in the train where you can put your luggage over there. I've never heard of a story where it actually got stolen, and you can just enjoy the time there. Also, about the seats, when you see someone, you're like a group of young guys, for example, and you see like a really old lady or an old man just like sort of struggling past you, just we have this common thing in Switzerland where we just go and say, hey, come on, sit with me, I'm giving you my seat, and that's it. And you look for something else. That's sort of the thing we do. Also, yeah, it's sort of like this thing is really funny in Switzerland. You have this train, I'm going to show it to you right here. This is like how the train seats fill up, okay? Normally first it's right, okay, next to the window in direction of travel. Then it's the diagonal opposite, okay, next to the aisle. And then it's again the seat to the direction of travel but away from the window. And then obviously the last seat is aisle seat facing backwards. This is sort of like, it always happens like this. So the trains usually fill up like this. So first always the seats fill up in the direction of travel, okay, next to the window, and then the other one, and so on and so on. This is because the Swiss is sort of like their space a little bit. So when the train's empty and you just basically sit in the compartment with someone, it's usually a little bit, okay, what's he doing, what's he up to? So this is, yeah, just a fun thing. I don't know, we don't do this intentionally, it just sort of happens. When you take the public transportation, is you need to validate your ticket or purchase a ticket before. You cannot purchase them on the train. It used to be back in the days, but they stopped it like maybe 15, 20 years ago, and it's not possible anymore, and you will get a fine if you do so. And let's face it, the train tickets are already expensive enough. I'll have my website here in the description as well, switzerlandinsider.com, if you want to know a little bit more about train tickets, about other stuff about Switzerland. Also, when you board the train or exit the train, we always let the people out first of the train or the bus or the ship, and then we go in. It's a little bit frowned upon to just like cut across everyone, okay? This is a good example. I can tell you a few things about these ships, okay? Now, first of all, you see, okay, over here, the people are coming out first and everyone's nicely waiting in line, okay? This is the station, it's called Verkehrshaus Lido. It's Museum of Transportation. And people are coming out, other ones are going in. And in the meantime, I can tell you a little bit about it. Normally, in these ships, the lowest floor is second class, and then you go up a little bit, and then you have first class, okay? You can buy, contrary to trains and buses, you can buy your tickets on these ships, because normally you would have to have a ticket machine, which it doesn't exist on this pier, so you can do that as an exception. It's on Lake Lucerne. I'm not 100% sure if there are other lakes as well. What do you think? It's a cat coming in now. It's my new friend, look. Hey. Hey. Say hi. Ooh. Okay, so he wants to do the video with me. So next point, okay? Boom. Was haben wir für den nächsten Punkt? Hiking, wanderen. Huh? So, hiking etiquette I have written down. So this is the next point where it is about when you go for a walk, okay? Okay, let's go a little bit over here. Okay. So what should we call them? We usually call cats like Mauzi or something like that in Switzerland. So next up point is hiking. Okay, when we go hiking in Switzerland, usually there's a few codexes as well. Okay, we do. And one thing is we always say hi to people. Okay, we say hi, we say grüezi when you walk, or you can just simply say hi, because sometimes you don't know where the people are coming from, and very often there are other tourists as well. So this is that. Also, when we walk on this a narrow trail, we don't walk on like side by side, so we let people cross, sometimes wait, there is a stairs, we wait for other people to come down and so on and so forth. So it's like, there's not really a rule which one has to do that, but it's sort of like you go. In Switzerland very much it's all based on how you feel with the other person. Okay, you make eye contact, some person moves a little bit, and then you know how to do it. Same with the greeting, with the kisses. Okay, you shake hands, maybe one person, it's usually the opposite sex, on male and male, female, female, they don't really do the kisses. So the other person from the opposite sex maybe leans in just a tiny bit, and then you know that's that. Okay, but usually hiking, say hi, and be a little bit mindful, and don't leave trash everywhere. So after your hike or during your hike, you become very hungry and you want to go to a restaurant and you want to know, okay, how do I behave there? And this is actually quite simple when you know it, okay? Here are a few things you should know when you are with people and when you are just you as a group of travelers, okay? When you are with people, I'm going to tell you later, first up is normally when you go to a restaurant, nowadays it's like this, I would just wait a little bit near the bar or near the entrance. There is no like specific sign where you should say wait till you're seated, but it helps a lot when you just wait there a little bit and then you're seated somewhere you ask, and sometimes they're just like, oh yeah, just go have a seat over there, there's no problem. And then you're served the menu, or you can order straight away, okay? And let's say you've ordered and you're with company. There, you don't have to follow this, you will see it straight away. I'm just gonna attack my camera now. You will see it straight away that, that's Vögeli. You will see it straight away that when you, for example, somebody has ordered a round of drinks, okay? In other cultures, you just start drinking and there's no problem. In Switzerland, we wait until everyone has their drink, okay? The drink or the might not arrive at once, okay? It might arrive, maybe one or two drinks might arrive a little bit later. And then we wait, and usually one person, usually the most senior one, or it's sometimes, yeah, here again, we have this social context where sometimes it gets a little bit awkward and you have to realize, oh, maybe I need to take the initiative and do it. And you say Prost, okay, or Sante, or cheers, or whatever you like to say. You don't have to go like a whole wedding toast, just that. And then everybody toasts, usually everybody as far as you can reach, and people lean like over the table, spill their drinks almost, and this is what happens, okay? And this is usually what happens with every drink. Every round of drink, until people forget that they are Swiss, and then it just, okay, that's that. Same with eating. We wait, everybody has their food, okay? So because here's the problem, we wait, and then there's usually one guy who gets the food a little bit late, okay? So, and then everybody's food's getting cold, and they're like, oh, you can start eating. No, we want to wait for you. And then it's like this huge, like, oh no, you first, no, go eat. Oh no, we wait for you, and so on. And then it's usually also the time when the food arrives. And then we say, "En gute" in Swiss German, or "Bon appetit" in French, or I think it's "Buon appetito" or something in Italian. You can just say "enjoy," if that, because a lot of people actually speak English in Switzerland, so don't worry about that.
And then when you order a fondue, there's some special things you need to know as well, which Greg is going to tell you when he's got the fondue in front of him.
So when it comes to fondue, I've prepared obviously something special for you right now. This is a product, it's a microwavable fondue. Some of you say now, oh, this is disgusting, Greg, how can you do this? Yes, if you like to try fondue and you don't want to pay the whole 20, 30, 40 Swiss francs it costs in a restaurant, you can easily do it that way. This costs about 5 Swiss francs, you put it in a microwave, and there it doesn't 100% taste the way a fondue does, because it's got some preservatives and everything in it, but it comes really close and is good for you to know. So when eating fondue, you have to know that normally this would be on a flame, okay? And on this flame it heats, and at the bottom it starts to burn in, because it's not like watery, okay? And to prevent that, and also for it to part, okay, you've got liquids as well as you've got fat in a fondue. Normally they part, and then it doesn't work out like this anymore. So you have to stir, okay? And when you go in, you stir, okay? But normally what you can do is you go in a figure 8. And when you stir it in a figure 8, you can prevent it sticking from the ground, okay? That's one thing. And the other thing is you can prevent the parting of it, okay? So this is what you do. You put the bread on it, and then when it's done, you take it out and you turn the fork like this a little bit. So because now you see the cheese, it drops. The way you turn the fork like this, it's okay. Now, what you can do is, if it's too hot for you, you can leave it a little bit on the table, and on the plate, and eat it later. You see, it's dropping again. Or what a lot of people do is they just go blow on it a little bit. It's socially acceptable. And then take a new piece of bread, put it on again. Is there a way? What are some other rules as well? Yes, you can happen that you lose the bread inside, okay? Then we have this rule, so to speak. If that happens to you, you have to pay a round for the entire table. But this one actually is never enforced. I've never seen it enforced. Maybe people actually do it. If you want to do it with your friends when you come, because you're not used to it, actually, it looks very easy, but it's very easy to lose the bread, and then people just go look for it as well. That's the one thing. That's the funny rule about it. If you like, you can have some fruit spirit as well next to it. Dip the bread in it, and then inside the cheese. You can ask for it if you eat it in a restaurant. That's really delicious. And the other thing is, normally we have this thing that not everybody is going in to eat the fondue. So we wait a little bit. One person is done. One person is done. It doesn't go like all the way like this, but you sort of, again, the social context, you will know which person when is done. Normally this works a little bit special. They are a little bit, normally a bit longer as well, and 3 pieces just to put the bread. That's the whole thing. But if you want, you can do it with a normal fork as well. That's all. It's your small guide to eating fondue in Switzerland.
So, we may as well just go all in now, okay? So, after the fondue, you have to pay, okay? And normally in Switzerland, still cash is king because we've got a lot of banks and stuff, but don't worry about that, okay? Cards are still accepted. You can usually pay by MasterCard or Visa card, whereas American Express is not that widely accepted in Switzerland. But I recommend you get some cash as well from a cash machine, because sometimes there are smaller ones. There are smaller restaurants, smaller places up in the mountains that don't offer payment by credit card already, so it always could be useful for you to do so as well. When it comes to tipping, we have this codex. We always give 10% of the amount of the bill. But you don't have to, because it's already included in the bill technically already. It's not written out. It doesn't really work like this. I've worked in hospitality a long time for my life already. It's not really that you see a lot of this money through your salary as well. So we give 10%, and it's absolutely no problem. Here are a few ways I would tip when I go to a restaurant. Normally when I order something like a coffee, or I order a drink, we go 2 to 5 Swiss francs. When I go a little bit more, for example, I'm 2 to 4 people that eat in like a pizzeria or something, is 5 to 10 Swiss francs. If you eat normal dinner, normal lunch, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. It would be something between 5 to 15 Swiss francs, and that's it. And then, obviously, when it's the evening, you leave the restaurant, and it's going to be quiet time, okay? Ruhezeit. Again, it's not official, but it's sort of like a codex again. And actually, after 10 o'clock at night, it's not a codex. I think that the police can actually come and do stuff, tell you to shut up, which they do as well sometimes. So after 10 p.m., be a little bit quiet. Also, the restaurants, also the holiday apartments, we have them very often in old buildings. And these old buildings, there are very thin walls, and you hear everything, okay? So be a little bit wary of that. Also, we have the same thing at lunch. So 12 o'clock to maybe 1 o'clock, we have a little bit down. Okay, maybe don't blast your stereo very loud. When you go to the rural areas, a little bit outside is maybe 2 o'clock even. Cal, but you have calm, quiet time all the time. We are here at the Museum of Transport, and have to freestyle that way. What have written here? Eine Pizza. Respect for nature and environment. Well done, Kat. So, Mauzi and I are gonna explain to you what that means. Normally, it's if I'm finished with this video and I have these papers, I don't just leave them here, okay? For Mauzi to read and other animals, I take them with me. We have this thing where we just take the waste we have with us, and okay, he's had enough. He's got scared a little bit.
This is actually a good thing. We can talk about this. Okay, usually there's these campaigns everywhere. This is by the city of Lucerne. It means ein Stummel im Gras bereitet keinen Spaß, which means a cigarette butt in the grass is no fun for anyone. I don't know why they make this goose French. It's I just love it. Okay, it's a French goose. Just talking about culture. Normally you can put it here. A cigarette. This is what it looks like. It says Lucerne is shining, and in summer they put these as well because normally these are not enough for the whole lot of people that come here right now. Are ready for the magnificent. It's called Diamant, which means diamond. It's a cruise ship on Lake Lucerne. You should definitely, for example, for the sunset cruise. I'm gonna link a video in the description. So you wonder where I am here. This is called Lido, okay? It's a part of Lucerne where we have Pilatus, we have a pier, we have that ship over there coming all the way over here from Lucerne, and always guests around here are these geese that are enjoying to eat the grass, okay? You can come here, you can swim in this lake. It's actually quite nice. It's just a little bit rocks. Normally it's sandy. A lot of people come here in summer, chill out. The sunset is over there, so you can grab dinner and do that here. And of course there is the magnificent Museum of Transport. Okay, it's got this very cool, it's an old Swiss Air ambulance jet. You can do a lot of things in this museum. If you're into transportation or anything technical, this is something I definitely recommend you do when you come to Lucerne. And yeah, that's that. See you soon around in Switzerland. Bis bald und tschüss.